Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 8 Ounces of Inspiration. And today I have a beautiful pot of inspiration with us with Shefali Jain. Shefali is the owner and founder of the Sushi Company, as well as now her second restaurant, the Gazebo, is making waves in Jaipur. She never went to a culinary school. It was all absolutely naturally learned and an interest generated from a very young age, living with her grandmother and then building this interest through the teachings that her mother did and the encouragement that she got from her family to just keep experimenting with her cuisines and her love for food, which got her to launch the sushi company first through Cloud Kitchen during COVID time, where she started taking home orders and delivering, which got her name around Jaipur completely, and everyone was talking about the sushi company. And soon, once things opened up, she had her first restaurant that she established, which of course specializes in sushi, but has a very, very good menu, which is very, very well subscribed to by restaurant by eaters and people who love food. And she also serves amazing pizzas. Gazebo is a multi-cuisine restaurant which has sushi, which has pizza, and which also has Indian food to it, so it can take care of all palates and people who are craving any kind of cuisine. So without much ado, I would like to say a very big thank you to Shefali. Thank you so much, Shefali, for taking time out of your busy schedule and being with us in this podcast so that you can inspire many more women, kids, students, individuals who aspire to own their own restaurant but sometimes hesitate because they feel they may not have the necessary educational skills that get somebody to open a restaurant. So we're going to hear from you. Firstly, thank you.
You're welcome.
And my first question to you is, since you didn't study to be a restaurateur or to be in culinary side of a career, what made you? I mean, I know you went to MGD school in Jaipur, then you went to St. Xavier's for your college. What got the whole idea of the sushi company and why sushi? I mean, in Jaipur, I know that people love to eat out, they love to experiment, but sushi is really a very, very, I would say, a very niche kind of a cuisine. Not everyone has a taste for it. So, why the sushi company?
You know what happened was I once ate sushi in Gurgaon and I have a palate for sushi and I used to, love having sushi. And then this COVID post lockdown happened and I was like, I was really craving for sushi. And since I am a Jain and I don't eat non-veg, I'm a 100% vegetarian person. So I usually don't have, and if the place is in Jaipur, there is only one or two places I could head to if I'm having sushi. But what happened was the only place which was open in COVID lockdown was, I don't remember the name exactly, but that was serving non-veg sushi. So that gave out of curiosity, what I did was I just Googled some of the items, researched on some recipes on the YouTube and everything. And then I got the idea, okay, let's try and hit the sushi thing at home only. And since I was a vegetarian person, so theek hai, sab kuch kara. And then after one or two experiments, it came out very beautifully. And since there's a social media wala thing, so social media mein whatever I was making or baking during the COVID time, I was just posting on the Instagram, and my whole of a bunch of friends and everyone related were like, how come you are having sushi in a lockdown period? I also really want to have sushi and everything, and we have a palette. And how do you even get those material and everything? So I used to, every time I was whole lockdown, every time I was getting a call कि please sushi की रेसिपी बता दो, आपने कैसे बनाया घर पे, please अपना वीडियो शूट करके भेज दो कि आपने sushi कैसे रोल करी. तो what I used to do was, मैंने कहा मेरे को वीडियो शूट वगैरह करना नहीं आता, I cannot do that, but you can come on a video call and I will just you just prepare these all the items, I will just do it. एंड वो ऐसा हुआ कि दो दो तीन तीन जनों को सिखाते सिखाते आई केम, मतलब मेरा परफेक्शन लेवल हाई हो गया सुशी में. एंड फिर है ना, दो तीन जने बोले हमसे इतनी मेहनत नहीं हो सकती, तो एक काम कर हम एक बॉक्स बना के भेजते. लेकिन फिर आफ्टर वन और टू टाइम्स दे वर लाइक, यार तू पैसे नहीं लेती, ये नहीं करती, we want to buy it from you. And that is all it came into, step by step, अपने आप है ना ऑर्गेनिकली सारा सब कुछ होता गया.
Wow, that is just such a beautiful story to hear. You know, a lot of times people say, like, sometimes when you're meant to be somewhere, the doors
Mhm.
automatically start to open to take you there, right? Where you are supposed to really live up to your full potential and open full throttle your uniqueness. So I want to ask you that. So I've learned how to make sushi. I lived in Singapore for a while, and one of my students in my dance class, she owned a whole lot of sushi outlets. So I told her same thing, that I don't eat non-veg. So if I want to make vegetarian sushi, and I love sushi, I have a huge like that tantalizing palate for it. And she thought, so I know it's not easy.
Mhm.
So if you learned it on your own, whether it was through YouTube, does that to bring it to a level, right, where you felt that, yeah, I think my sushi looks beautiful, it's been cut well, it tastes well. You must have had some really strong inherent talent in you, because it's not a pizza. Sushi is a different ball game altogether.
Actually, you won't believe, like I was telling you about my grandmother also, that she used to teach me everything about the basic, authentic, small tricks about all the Indian food and everything. This is what, when you are having sushi at here, the sushi company, by the time I created a rice recipe of my own for the sushi, basically, using the authentic Japanese sushi rice and everything. But the formula which I created about the ratios and everything of the oil and the everything which we use to make the sushi rice is completely secret right now. I don't disclose it to
Of
anyone.
course.
But that is something which I created according to Matlab Pura was something I curated it after so many hit and tries to get that perfect formula. Like I have been watching YouTube videos, some are saying and a rice vinegar dalo, some are saying oil dalo, some are saying namak or chini thoda bahut dal dena, ye karna, wo kar dena. But after so many hit and tries, I got that perfect recipe. And that perfect recipe is something ki aaj bhi, if I'm sitting over here in Gazebo and if I'm sitting over here in Sushi Company, I'm not teaching any of my staff to, how the sushi rice is being cooked, because the main essence of sushi is sushi rice. Anyone can do filling,
Yeah.
anyone can roll the sushi. But the sushi rice का जो texture होता है ना, that is something, कभी वो ज़्यादा पका हुआ होता है कई restaurants में, कभी वो कम होता है. That perfect accuracy is something जो मैंने खुद ने create करी, and I am keeping it to myself right now. कि अभी I don't want to leak it to anyone, but yeah, that is the basic thing why people are coming over here and again, and they are having sushi over here, and they are like, यार 8 piece भी खा लिए, हमारा पेट क्यों नहीं भरा?
Yeah.
After half an hour, they are like, yeah, I want to have more sushi. They are so light and everything. Generally, if you have a vegetarian sushi at
Yeah.
any of the places, Jaipur also, sushi is heavy because I don't know what the combination of rice and everything they are using. But what combination which I have created for the sushi rice is something that is a mixture of some things. But if you are having sushi also, it will be very light on your palate, it will be very light on your stomach. You won't be feeling heavy or something. And after half an hour or so, you will be like, अच्छा भूख लग रही है, मैंने अभी तो खाना खाया था वाला scene. And that is the basic sushi का scene होता है कि sushis are supposed to be light. They are not supposed to be heavy.
Mhm.
And if you study about the Japanese sushi rice, more of a thing is कि Japanese sushi rice is more of a lighter basic. There are so many varieties in rice. जैसे इंडियन बासमती होता है, बंगाली चावल होता है, कई जने यहाँ पे बंगाली चावल यूज कर लेते हैं कॉस्ट कटिंग के चक्कर में sushi में. But what happens is कि you need to know about the variations which you are using. आप कुछ भी use करो, but your recipe should be coming out to be perfect
Yeah.
and it should be on an authentic side कि हाँ भाई ये सही है. And
Wow.
सबसे बड़ा customers को अच्छा लगना चाहिए.
So, which brings me to my next question. Of course, you have the secret ingredients, and that is the, I would say, the unique selling point of your sushis and of the restaurant. So, does that mean that you make the rice yourself?
Pardon?
Do you make the entire rice yourself? If you haven't shared the
Yeah.
recipe.
Earlier, I was making the complete rice portions by myself only, but then my mother came into the thing and she was like, "You focus on all the other things, and I will do
I
the
will
rice."
do this.
So
So
that was
she
a
comes to the
really
restaurant every day. Your mom, she
she
works.
comes to the restaurant, yeah. She comes
Wow.
daily, she supports me every day. Matlab, if I'm not available right now or if I'm somewhere else, she is the person you can hop on to कि भाई ये देख लेना, ये कर लेना. She is that flexible and she is that accommodating and friendly towards me कि, and I know if I'm in some mess or something, I know to whom I have to go to. Who is
Yeah.
my go-to person.
Well, that's beautiful. So, you stayed with your grandmother for a good amount of time because your parents lived overseas in Hong Kong.
Mhm.
Uh, so, After your mother moved here and then you were with your
Mm-hmm.
parents, do you feel that there was a very strong, so who was your biggest supporter when you wanted to start this? Because for a lot of, again, I just want to add
My
one thing to
father.
this question, that in a lot of families, when the girl is of a marriageable age or she's a bit older, parents just become like, okay, don't do it now, do it later, because we don't know, you might have to move out of Jaipur and it's a lot of investment. But in
Mhm.
your case, you went ahead, and I think that can only happen when you have a lot of family support. So, who
For
was the
this,
biggest
I'm really
family?
grateful towards my father. For this, I'm really grateful towards my father. If he wouldn't have been there, no, this won't be possible. He had been pushing all the lines and everything for me. Ki, हाँ, you have to do it. What happened अगर कहीं और भी शादी हो जाती तो? At least you will have something of your own to tell someone that you have done something. There will be a feeling of accomplishment in you कि हाँ भाई आपने करा है. And obviously there are so many examples, so many experiments which come daily. सब लोग सीधे try करते क्या हो जाएगा? 10-20 लाख रुपए डूब जाएंगे और क्या हो जाएगा? ज्यादा ज्यादा क्या हो जाएगा?
Yeah.
If I am that capable, then why don't you give it a try?
Wow.
मतलब
That's
honestly speaking, for a
wonderful.
girl in an Indian family, if your parents are supportive and if they have that kind of a push
For
for
you.
you, no one can stop you.
Yeah, it's unlimited potential that gets unleashed then. And I'm so happy to hear that your parents have been such a strong pillar of support for you. So, in any journey when we start a company, and especially for you, because this is uncharted territory, right? It's not something you've been educated in. You didn't go through like those years of schooling that a lot of chefs and a lot of restaurateurs go through. There may be some challenges that you may have faced initially, right? Which could be anything to
See,
relate
but
to.
every time I came up with a challenge or something, there were always my parents who were like कि पैसा ही तो जा रहा है, at least you are learning something. कुछ खराब भी हो गया तो it is a good experiment for you and it is a more of a practice. It has a practical knowledge. And honestly, with the theoretical and bookish knowledge, you will gain everything. But once you are trying it in practical thing, and I can definitely say since I have not done any culinary course or something, teaching and doing something in a restaurant and practically doing something and then doing the hit and trial and everything, and when something is so important for you that you have to grow and everything, if there is that kind of a zeal in you, na, no one can stop you.
But
And
Shivali,
maybe
I want
in a
to,
few.
can you share a challenge? Like one thing that, kind of just got you all jittered up, and how did you overcome that?
See, since we are going through a COVID lockdown wala thing and everything, every day was a challenge. And I was very particular towards my staff and everyone, which I kept on hiring and hiring. And at one point of time, I was like, yeah, I have a staff of these many people. And what if this COVID lockdown happened and how am I going to pay their salaries? Because obviously किसी की दाल रोटी मेरे भरोसे चल रही है and I really don't want to do something to their thing कि हाँ ठीक है ये लोग पूरे मेरे पे dependent and I really don't want to be at that space कि यार मेरे चक्कर में इनको कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाए एंड दैट वाज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फैक्टर इन मी व्हिच made me or which kept me moving कि हाँ भाई कुछ गलत नहीं करना है. I have to do every possible thing which I can so that none of my staff suffers from it, and that was the turning point for me when I started thinking like that कि हाँ भाई these 40 to 50 people are dependent on me and I don't have to do anything, and I am really blessed कि हाँ ठीक है since I first opened like 1st August and it's been like not even 2 years. पूरे 2 years भी नहीं हुए and I am sitting in my second outlet right now. But I personally feel gratitude is a very, very important thing. If you are not thankful for what you are having right now, there is no point in doing anything. And that gratitude feeling gives you more and more zeal from inside. That every day you wake up, you do your stuff, and then when you are sleeping, you should be at peace कि हाँ भाई मेरे से जितना हो सकता था मैंने किया, अब इसके आगे मेरी बचती नहीं है, but अब आप शांति से सो जाओ.
Well, wonderful. That's so good to hear that you pivoted your challenge to actually be the driving force for yourself. So where the challenge was that how am I going to pay salaries, you said, you know what, I have to pay the salaries, they're dependent on me. So I need to work harder, and there is no choice of anything else but to move on and to make sure the restaurant is successful and I can pay their salary. And that's
Exactly.
such a great way of looking at it. And I love your statement about feeling gratitude, because I personally also believe that it's gratitude that makes our life go around, which makes it more meaningful. You are married now, and your husband is nowhere close to anything which is food related or restaurant related. He's completely into a different line.
He was the person जिसको फर्क भी नहीं पड़ता था, वो सुबह शाम दाल रोटी वाला इंसान था. And now after living with me, he's like, ये दाल में नींबू कम है, आज तुमने नहीं बनाया, taste नहीं आ रहा. He has completely become a kind of a person.
Wonderful. And does he enjoy sushi?
Yeah, he enjoys sushi.
Okay, so he's a lucky one.
He was a dal roti person, and now he's like, यार lasagna बन जाएगा क्या, sushi बन जाएगी.
Well, he's a lucky one, you know. He's got somebody who can just stir up these magical concoctions for him. So it's good. It's great. Coming to my next question, you're very young and you have seen a good amount of success. Like you said, you're very grateful that you've been able to open 2 outlets in such a short span of time of 2 years. I want to ask you, one, how does it feel to be financially independent, to have your own earnings, your own account? And 2, what do you do with this money? Do you save? Do you invest? Do you just keep or build capital for your next restaurant? What's your strategy?
Honestly speaking, being independent, financially independent is a very good thing. Like we are living in a joint family, the nuclear family. This is an Indian culture that they don't really, take from a goal or something. But being capable of shopping for your own needs and everything, like if I have to go and shop for a bag or something, and if I have a thinking, I have to, update my iPhone and everything, I don't have to ask anyone for that. Ki, I want an iPhone and I want something like that. I know that I am capable of that thing. If my family is supporting me, if I'm with, I'm okay. Obviously, girls are like,
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm not spending on that amount, if my family is supporting for that, I'm not that person who is wasting that amount which I'm earning. I keep on investing on shares. I have mutual policies. I have SIPs. I store. I'm very good with, saving the amounts and everything. So as soon as I have some amount, I usually invest in that, in something or the other. Like I invest in shares or something. I invest in mutual policies, or I have the SIPs. But I know that these are the basic necessities which need to be completed. This is my particular amount which I need for the shopping and everything. But this amount is the fixed amount which I have to invest for my future. And since I am thinking about my 3rd restaurant right now, so I keep on planning about that also, that I have to create something different yet acceptable for everyone.
That's absolutely wonderful. It's so good to hear, Shefali, about how financially savvy you are at such a young age. I want to ask you, so what are the future plans? You just mentioned that I'm thinking of my 3rd restaurant, but what is it that you aspire 3 years down the line when Shefali looks back and it's been 5 years of the start of the restaurant? Where will
I
she
want to be that. I really want to be that person. Like Sushi Company has given me a name that she is the person who tries completely different things. Like when I started Sushi Company, it was like few of my friends were like, first of all, who was from the restaurant industry, they were like, first of all, you're starting sushi. Then you're playing with the vegetarian sushi. Are you mad? How are you going to survive in this kind of an environment? So since my father was there, he was very supportive. Like, kya ho jayega? Try to karo, let's see. But it worked out beautifully because since we are living in a Jaipur thing, so I guess 50 to 60% people are here are more of a vegetarian kind of a people. And then when I served the sushi and when I created some of the flavors with the silken tofu and the BBQ'd mushroom, the people who were eating non-veg sushi also gone crazy for those flavors. How you're developing these kind of flavors in vegetarian sushi also. That created a USP for me that I am the person who create something different and think differently. I really don't want to go for the restaurant or something who are doing the same roti sabji cafe wala town coffee wala scene or something like that. I am really working towards something which creates a different image for me, that I'm not doing what the hierarchy people are doing, what all of the people in that area are doing, the local, restaurants or everyone is doing. Like right now, I'm thinking of a concept. The only push I'm not getting is that I have to create something. And what happens is when you are so unique and so individually, if you want to focus on something or the other different, many people come towards and challenge you on that. How you're going to survive this particular thing. Don't you think you have to involve these all particular items also in your menu and everything? I'll be like, ठीक है अभी से try करते हैं, बाद में अगर नहीं होगा तो देखी जाएगी, नहीं होगा तो और try करेंगे, but at least let me try. Let me see what I can do with this thing. and the people of Jaipur are so good. Matlab, they are up for the experiments. If you will do any kind of an experiment with the food and everything, they are so good. They are like, एक बार try तो करना ही है. So
Yeah.
that gives it a boost,
I think it's a
and
very foodie town, so you're very fortunate that you got to start from here, and I hope you really see success in terms of going completely nationwide and international. And I think it's been a very good foundation for you right here. So, there are a lot of girls and a lot of women who want to do something, who aspire to do something. But like I said, a lot of those self doubts creep in because it's like, I don't have the right education. Karu ki nahi karu, as you're saying, what if something goes wrong? And it becomes like a self limiting factor for them that even before trying, like you did and you had support, they don't even try and they just stop, even though they may have had a huge potential to do it. So I want you to share a message to them from your own experience. What would you say to them?
yeah, I would say that every person should try, and try करने के लिए आपको कोई जगह नहीं चाहिए होती. आप जहाँ सो भी तो रहे हो ना, आपके पास जगह है. एटलीस्ट ट्राई तो करो. बाकी तो डेस्टिनी है. बाकी तो मतलब होने को तो कुछ भी हो सकता है ना. मेरा सब कुछ डेवलप हुआ भी फेल हो सकता है, बट टचवुड ऐसा नहीं हो. बट
Yeah,
एटलीस्ट यू शुड गिव इट अ शॉट. मतलब
absolutely.
आप, and it is like a food for soul wala thing. The work is something, girls should be independent. It is a food. If you are doing something, it is a way of distracting your brain from faltu ki cheeze, and you're doing something.
I
honestly
so
speaking
agree
if,
with you.
Honestly speaking, if you are sitting alone in a room, you don't have anything to do, if you, and then you will be thinking about something or the other, then why not put your thinking and potential on the thing which you can do for yourself? Obviously, girls are somewhere in the Indian society, they are made to believe that you have to do something for your husbands, you have to do first, you have to do for your family, then for your husbands, then for your children. Why? ये तो मुझे लगता है ये तो भाई ठीक है, बाय डिफॉल्ट हो रहा है ना. व्हाई डोंट यू गिव सम टाइम? ठीक है, एक बार 15 मिनट का टाइम दो, फिर हाफ एन आवर का टाइम दो, जस्ट बाय डूइंग जिम और समथिंग ओनली. Dedicate some time for yourself where you can do some things for you. Like food is something, I go in a kitchen, food is something, it is a stress buster for me. I have been cooking from a very young age, like I told you.
Mm.
But what I personally feel is every person should give it a shot, and they should set in their brain कि ठीक है, अगर मुझे प्रोफेशनली कुछ नहीं करना, आई शुड फाइंड समथिंग कि हाँ भाई मुझे ये मेरे लिए करना है. जब आप में ये सोच आ जाती है ना कि मुझे नहीं होना, प्रोफेशनल कुछ नहीं करना, लेकिन मुझे जब दिमाग में ये चीज आ जाएगी कि जब वो मुझे खुद के लिए कुछ करना है, तो आई डोंट थिंक देयर विल बी अ बेटर थिंग फॉर देयर ब्रेन्स एंड एवरीथिंग एंड सेटिस्फैक्शन. एक जो सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन वाला थिंग होता है ना कि हाँ भाई ये मेरे को मेरे लिए करना है, एंड दैट इज इट फॉर मी. इस टाइम मुझे किसी की कोई सीन नहीं चाहिए, किसी का कोई दिमाग, कहीं मुझे और कोई दिमाग नहीं लगाना. आई जस्ट हैव टू डू दिस थिंग फॉर माई सेल्फ. दैट इज समथिंग which we have to learn.
Well, on that note, Shefali, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your experience, for sharing the amazing insight into how you've evolved yourself, overcome your challenges, and how focused you are about just continuing to experiment and expand and bring some amazing experimental sushi and amazing other recipes to the Jaipur market, and then hopefully expand into a nationwide market. I really want to thank you for your message to other women, because I think your story is very inspiring to those, especially who are wanting to pivot into a career where they may not have had educational background in, but have an interest in. And I think you are absolutely the best living example of interest turned into your profession and how wonderful you're doing. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the luck. And we request your entire audience that whenever you're visiting Jaipur, and if you are in Jaipur, you have to go to the Sushi Company and try Shefali's amazingly unique and authentic sushi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.